So I
You know, that
do I
it's
just
empowering for tutors and for students. And he edits anything out, so, you know,
Okay.
if we say something and you laugh, or, you know, he can edit anything out.
I
So
can't
just,
laugh.
you can, but I'm just saying, you can be totally relaxed, because he'll take out anything that he doesn't want.
All right, so just go?
Go.
Okay. I don't like this. This isn't okay.
Here, I'll sit. Maybe
You
that will
sit.
make you
Yeah,
feel better.
move over. That will make you feel better.
We're gonna have a bloopers reel at the end, and then right now it's just you and Daryl on it.
Oh, God. All right. So should I say, like, hello, or just say, my name is?
Just say, my name is.
Okay. My name is Carolyn Haskell. I'm the program coordinator at Belfast Adult Education. I have been here about 10 and a half years. And my relationship with literacy volunteers is what started my career path with adult education. So back in 2006, my husband and I moved to Maine. I gave up a very good paying, lovely job in publishing, and I found myself in Waldo County not really able to find a job and bored. So our farrier suggested that I become a Lit Vol tutor. I did the training. It was lovely. I did have a challenge getting a student, but I eventually was assigned a student who was working on her GED. And we met a few times. We immediately clicked. And she asked me to come to the Adult Ed Learning Center to look at the results of what she had done so far with her GED. I walked in the door and I immediately connected with Jodelle, our program assistant, and I decided that I wanted to know more about Adult Ed. So I had an informational interview with Mr. Gilman, and I brought in a resume, and about 3 months later, to my surprise, I was offered a position as the coordinator for our college transition program. Since then, I am in charge of college transition. I do HiSET, which is the new GED, and I teach English. And for a while, when I first started, obviously there was always been a literacy volunteers relationship, but it was not a defined relationship. Sometimes we would have students come in and say they had been working with literacy volunteers, but it didn't seem to be working out, or vice versa. They may come in and say they wanted to work with Adult Ed, but that hadn't worked out, so they had gone to literacy volunteers. So I don't think there was a lot of there wasn't a real strong relationship between Adult Ed and literacy volunteers until, what year was it? 3 years ago?
Yeah, about 3 years ago.
So, until about 3 years ago, when our director, Mr. Gilman, was approached and asked if he would take on literacy volunteers and let it become part of our program, which was an excellent decision, because since then there is a relationship between literacy volunteers and Adult Ed that never, I don't believe, ever existed in the past in Waldo County. There are referrals that go back and forth. Literacy volunteers bring students to Adult Ed who have started with them and now want to, further their skills or work on their high school diploma. And Literacy Volunteers has provided tutoring for all types of students from Adult Ed, students who need extra support for classes they're taking, students who are in college transition, who need somebody to help them with their writing or their math. The fact that we're all in one place together, we get to know the tutors, we get to know any of the learners that come to Adult Ed, so it's kind of like a family relationship, as opposed to, it used to be kind of a dysfunctional family because it was never housed. We weren't together. There were referrals, but they often didn't get followed through by either organization. But now we're all together, and it all seems to work out really well.
Beautiful.
Is that okay?
I'm going to